Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. Hope you guys are keeping well. And today I'm going to review the HiFiMan HE-R9, and these are a dynamic driver closed back headphone, which is fairly unusual for HiFiMan. They have got, which I've reviewed about 7 months ago, the HE-R10D for dynamic driver and the R10P for planar magnetic. The planar version is considerably more expensive than the dynamic driver. But I was having a chat with HiFiMan and they said they've got these which are currently available in China. Probably next year might look at going selling overseas. But these are the HE-R9, which are probably about 40% less than the bigger brother, the R10D. So just to give you a feel for these very quickly, they are frequency response is 15 Hz to 35 kHz, 32 ohm, 100 dB, and they weigh 328 grams. So what I'm going to do this review, I'm going to talk about the sound quality, one of the unique features of these that they can be used, USB audio, traditional headphone cables, or even via Bluetooth. Talk about the 3 different modes, the sound quality, how that's done, and my verdict on these compared to some other headphones. Of course, I may not be able to cover every headphone in the world, but if you ask the question below, I'll give my shot at answering it. Anyway, let me show you what you get in the box. So in the box they come packaged like that. I've taken the accessories out so I can show you individually, and I'll show you the actual headphones. You get the HiFiMan R2R DAC that plugs into the headphone itself. So don't know if you can see here, but you've got the USB-C on-off button for the Bluetooth and USB, and this side round you've got how it plugs in. Now when you turn this on, you push and hold and it tells you it's connected. I'll do a little demo. To enter Bluetooth pairing, it's turn on first, and once it's turned on then you double press and go from there. You also get a USB-C to USB-A cable. You get a straightforward headphone cable which goes either side, has a 6.3 adapter on, and has 3.5 square plug there. These are pretty easy to drive, or much easier to drive than the planar magnetic headphones they do. You also get warranty card, and you also get the owner's guide, which is in English and Chinese. Now I will just make it up front, these are not my own headphones. HiFiMan have lent me these so I could have a listen, which was most kind because it was quite tricky for them to organise that. But I've had a few weeks listening to them, and I've got other HiFiMan headphones that I do own that I compare them to, plus Sennheiser, plus Shure, plus you name it, I've got them. So when you open the booklet, I just wanted to run through some of the bits you get. You get a message from the founder, which is like so, which is very nice. They talk about the topology, diaphragm technology, how that works, and there's a whole, I don't know if you can see that, there's a whole breakdown of the interior of the actual headphone itself. They also explain that the headband is covered in high standard leather. The inside is high grade memory foam, select switches there to give you the best fit and elasticity. The headphone skeleton itself is made of steel. I will put these on my head so you can see what they look like. They have large ear cups for superior acoustics. I'll give that a tick, confirm that. And they're quite a nice, they call it a crimson red. And the pads on the actual headphones themselves, they marketing speak here, tranquility pads. Again, it's just high quality leather which absorbs sound and forces the sound to go into your ear. Before that, I just will show you how this works. So these have a left and a right, and on the left hand side you need to plug this in here, and it literally just fits on like so. Really simple. Now when you turn on, I'll put it nearer to my mic.
Power on.
But you can connect two Bluetooth devices like multi-point, as they call it. That's really handy. This does have all the different codecs up to from AAC all the way up to LDAC, so you can get the best sound out of your device. But what you can do is you can plug the USB-C and that end that comes with it, and you can plug the USB-A or go USB-C, get your own USB-C to USB-C cable and go into a modern thing like an iPad or MacBook Pro or something that already has USB-C, and you get USB audio into this. So let's just show you, take that off. Actually no, I'll show you what it looks like on your head with this piece so you can see that. These are, you know, quite a substantial size, but the one thing that's startling is how comfortable these are. So they're only 328 grams, so that's very, very acceptable weight for an over-ear. Let's just take this off. Let's just turn this off a second. So these are what they look like. These are the cups, and if you can see, all the way around, like so. They're not like the R10s, which are on really nice wood colours that they have, depending if you go planar or dynamic. These are dynamic. You get a nice bit of movement here as well. They are exceptionally comfortable on the head, exceptionally. So these are the tracks that I use to listen to. And now we'll talk about Bluetooth, USB audio and analog cable. So let's take Bluetooth first. So here is the little Bluetooth module. Now what's clever is that these headphones can be balanced, and they use they're now working in balanced through this side only. If you connect the two connections either side, it's unbalanced, but you can have a 3.5 balanced cable just to the left side, and that will make them work in balanced. The power and efficiency using the Bluetooth module is astonishing. So in Bluetooth, it jumps very quickly from fairly quiet, and it leaps up to a very powerful, big, involving sound. This has been closed back. The soundstage isn't as wide. It's obviously an open back headphone, but it's not too bad. It's instead of being out here, it's a bit in here, both in depth, whatever. But the dynamics, the punch in the bass is fantastic. I absolutely love these, and in some ways, because these are probably around 40% less than the R10Ds, maybe 35-40%. The price is still to be sort of agreed in the Western markets, which is more down to VAT and stuff like that, taxes and things. This is exceptional value. I think they sound amazing. Now, what if you were going to compare them to another Bluetooth headphone? So sound quality wise, these are my Sony WH-1000 XM4s. I mean, these just, from a sound quality point of view, these just crush them. When you've listened to these, from having spent time on these, you just don't want to pick these up again, because these sounds, from sound quality, they're just like leap years ahead. Better treble, better mid-range, more impactful tight bass, feel like they go deeper. Really quite astonishing. But Bluetooth is, even with LDAC, isn't as good as going full digital or analog. So if this is still connected, plug in a USB-C cable, plug it in to something that works with USB audio out, and the quality jump is noticeable. It really is. So the dynamics are there's more expressive, there's more treble, the vocals are even better, mid-range bass, absolutely fantastic. And then you go to analog, where you just take the cables that come in and you plug each cable in, and you have, again, you can control the quality that you feed it from your DAC and headphone amp. So that the world is your oyster in terms of control. And again, super sound. But I've got to say, for a digital option just going via the module with the USB audio is surprisingly good. Analogue's still the best, but USB audio was very good, and Bluetooth slots behind all three, which you would expect, let's be honest. But the freedom of no wires is, I think, how all headphones should eventually go, or you have the option of doing that in terms of little module and off you go. So these do adjust. I'll just show you like so, and there's quite a bit of friction as well. So here they are on my head again, and they do offer an element of passive noise cancellation, but they're not noise cancelling headphones, obviously. But I can wear these for hours and hours and hours, really great. So I think obviously they're bigger, more expensive R10Ds, do sound better, they've got a more refined treble and mids, but I do think these are reasonably close enough that if I had the choice of the two, I'd probably, and I didn't want wooden cups, I would go perhaps lean towards these. Compared to any of their comparably priced planar magnetics, the Ananda, or even the Sundara, because they're open back, they have a totally different sound stage, totally different. I personally would prefer an open back headphone, but for private listening, I just don't think you can go wrong with these. Anyway, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. If you've got any questions, ask below, I'll answer them. Catch you guys soon. Bye for now.